Merry Christmas, everybody. Goodness, here we are, Christmas Eve 2020. I sure wish that we were able to have our Christmas Eve service. I just wanted to take a couple moments and share some music and just a very short little Christmas story for everybody. Because, again, for years, the church has had its Christmas Eve service, and I really miss opportunities like that. And so my way of I consider this sort of a Christmas card from me to you. And so let me just share a little story. It may be that you've heard this sometime in the past, and it's worth hearing again if you have, but especially if you have not. It's one of my favorite stories associated with Christmas. And it's a story about Eve Gordon. Eve Gordon had very difficult duty on Christmas Eve 1940. She was a special duty nurse at a London hospital, and she had been assigned to care for a desperately ill German student from a nearby college. The young man had contracted pneumonia and was in critical condition. Staff physicians held out little hope for his survival. The student, aware of his perilous circumstances, pleaded with the nurse to keep him awake, saying, "If I go to sleep, I'll never wake up." Throughout the long hours of the night, Eve Gordon kept her patient from drifting off into sleep. With painstaking detail, she told him the biblical Christmas story, the journey to Bethlehem, the birth in a stable, the adoration of the shepherds, the visit of the Magi, the flight into Egypt. When she had exhausted the story, she sang to him every Christmas carol she could recall from memory. And whenever her patient seemed on the verge of falling asleep, she gently shook him back to consciousness. The dawn of that Christmas morning found the student still alive and able to celebrate the day. The crisis passed, and the young man gradually improved and was released from the hospital. Several years passed. Britain and much of the rest of the world were engulfed in World War II. Gordon, now a medical doctor, had been conscripted into the service of her country. Because she was fluent in Norwegian and a skilled skier, she was placed under cover in Nazi-occupied Norway. One morning, German occupation troops arrested her along with scores of Norwegian civilians. Someone had tipped off the Germans that one of that group was a British secret agent. Knowing that her true identity and mission would be discovered, Eve Gordon prayed that death would come quickly and that she would not be subjected to torture. Gordon was brutally shoved into a small room where she faced her interrogator, a Nazi soldier. The man reached for his sidearm. My prayer is answered, she thought. Then her eyes met, and there was surprise at the mutual recognition. The German student and the English nurse were face to face again. Replacing his gun in its holster, the soldier pointed to the back door and said, "Go, I give you back your Christmas." This is an amazing time of year when you think about all the celebrations and all of the goodwill that is shared, the hope for the Christ child coming into this world and into our lives. And I pray that for you and your family, your friends, wherever it is that you live, that you would know the presence of Jesus himself. So tonight especially, I pray that you have a wonderful time and the blessings that God will shower upon you, you will share with your family and friends, and it will reach around this world, not just now, but for years to come. God bless you all. Have a great Christmas Eve and a wonderful Christmas tomorrow. Good night.